Spencer, the sleek, shiny engine, would not stop grumbling. He grumbled about how overworked he is, as well as the other engines telling him that he shows off too much. But most of all, he grumbles about Philip, the little diesel box cab. All over Sodor, Thomas's friends were buffeted and blasted along their track.
Slow down, you fool. You nearly killed us back there.
One morning, when Thomas and Percy were collecting their loads from the docks, Spencer came in to be a giant jerk as usual. Dear oh dear, Thomas. It seems that the Duke and Duchess won't have a tiny toy tank engine like you. The summer house would never be finished. What do you mean? I mean, Thomas, you just can't pull heavy loads, that's all. Now Thomas and the other engines were very cross. This time Spencer had gone too far. Yes, I can. I can pull just as heavy loads as you. Yeah, even heavier, of course. Thomas is not a toy, Spencer. He's a really useful engine. Yeah, and he's very strong too. But the Sodor engines didn't scare Spencer. A naughty idea had flew up into his smoke box. Very well, Thomas. Meet me tomorrow morning in the shunting yard. We will each have a strength competition to see who will last longer and much further. And then with that, Spencer puffed away. But Thomas was worried. He let out a sad wheeze of steam. Bust my buffers. I can't do this. Spencer will win the contest of strength for sure. The other engines could see that Thomas was very worried. They felt sorry for their friend. Percy rolled up quietly against Thomas. You're the #1 engine on Sodor, I know. You'll show Spencer that Sodor engines can win a contest of strength because they don't give up so easily. I know that because you are my best friend ever. That made Thomas feel much better. Don't worry, Percy. I'm sure gonna win up against Spencer in a strength competition tomorrow. And I will win. Yeah.
The next day.
In the cold light of dawn next morning, Thomas and his friends waited for Spencer. It wasn't long before they heard a whistle, and a streak of silver came around the bend. It was Spencer. But Thomas was still worried. I can't do this, Percy. Yes, you can, Thomas. You proved to us last night that Sodor engines can win the contest of strength against Spencer. So can you. The tracks were cleared for both Spencer and Thomas, as the two engines were both coupled up to their heavy loads. Edward bustled alongside, ready to start the race. You will each take different tracks across the island. You will only stop for coal and water, and that's it. Then, with a loud and very long puff, Edward blew his whistle. The race had begun as Thomas and Spencer started to haul their loads. Thomas really wanted to win, but Spencer had a naughty idea up his sleeve so he can cheat. The other engines watched, and they were worried. Then they all blew their whistles, except for Philip, because he's a diesel, so he blew his horn. So yeah. Good luck, Thomas! As Thomas whizzed through Edward Station, he was heading straight for Gordon's Hill. Thomas wanted to get to the top of the hill as fast as he could. His pistons pumped and his axles ached. At last, Thomas reached the top of the hill. Hurrah! I've done it! Then there was trouble. Thomas had broken his brakes. Cinders and ashes. I can't stop! Help! Help! Thomas flew faster and faster through the junction and straight through Marin Station where Spencer was having a rest, blistering boilers, and straight into a freight car full of paint. Afterward, he still couldn't stop. And then Thomas found himself rolling along a rickety old track. He then saw some bushes and trees up ahead. Fenders and funnels, how can I stop? With a scrunch and a crunch, Thomas crashed through the bushes and came to a complete stop at a nearby abandoned station.
Oh, Jesus Christ, that was scary as fuck. Thomas looked around. After the racing and rattling, it had all became quiet. Spencer will be back at the shunting yards now. He'll be puffing with pride because he won the contest, and yet he still won't apologize to Philip. But my best friend Percy will be wondering where I am. I don't know where I am. Still, everything was still quiet. Thomas didn't know what to do. But then he heard a voice. Hello? Anybody here? Thomas looked around. He couldn't see anyone. Thomas hardly dared puff. Anybody? Thomas heard the voice again. Perhaps the voice must be coming from the bushes. Very slowly, Thomas inched forward and straight through the bushes. The branches crackled and crunched. As Thomas came under the bridge, he gasped at what he saw. Oh my Lanta! There, in front of him, was a very old engine. It was very broken and rusty. Thomas didn't know what to say because he was too scared. Then the old engine smiled at him. It was a little frightened smile, but it made the old engine look kind and gentle, and it made Thomas feel a little less scared. Hello there. Too bad your brakes failed. Doesn't that happen all the time when you're on a hill, The old engine smiled again. Thomas wanted to smile too, but he was still too nervous, so he decided to speak anyway, hi. My name is Thomas. Pleasure to meet you, Thomas. My name is Hiro. Hiro, huh? So, why are you here? Where have you been? Oh, that's a long story. Do you like stories, Thomas? Yes, of course. The narrow gauge engines tell their stories at Crovinsgate all the time. Well then, you might like mine. I came here a long time ago from on an island. I was one of the first steam engines to arrive on Sodor. That's strange. I thought Edward was the first steam engine to arrive on Sodor. But, where's your island? Hiro began to tell Thomas his story. My island is a long way away. There are mountains and snow and sea. I was the strongest engine at home. My manager was so proud of me that he made me become leader. Thomas asked, how did you get to Sodor here anyway, Hiro?
Hiro replied, well, I came in a very big ship. It took a while to get here because of a storm.
When I arrived at the docks, it didn't look at all like home. What was Sodor like back then? It was very quiet. I thought I was the only engine around here, which at least I was at the time. I was called Master of the Railway, too. I was very happy. Well, what happened afterward? I accidentally burst a safety valve while traveling across Sodor. I was left on a siding to wait for parts from my island, and then years later, the parts never came. I know what to do. I'll go tell Sir Topham Hatt. He runs our railway now. I'm sure he can help you. Hiro was shocked. No. Don't do that. You can't tell Sir Topham Hatt, please. Thomas was confused. Why, Hiro? I'm an old engine. I'm damaged beyond repair, and he might scrap me. That's not right. That's not fair. That can't happen to you. But Thomas could see that Hiro was once used to be the master of the railway, was now old, alone, and very scared. So Thomas made a decision. Don't worry, Hiro. I will restore you to your former glory. I will not tell Sir Topham Hatt until you are fixed. I will soon find all the right parts to fix you, and then you will be master of the railway once again. Hiro was delighted. Oh, thank you, Thomas, for looking up to me. Thomas beamed with pride.